Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is draw it. I have no idea what it's asking. Not really concerned about that because I see these two and I know that I've got to draw it. $171, $179, $187, $163, one what?
55.
Okay, so that takes care of all of that. Bill has a height of 184. So we'll put Bill right about here. He weighs the height for the 184. What is the positive? What's the difference? Okay, well, that's not hard. 184, this is A. 184 minus what? 171. Somebody give me that number. 13. So 13 is A. The difference is blank standard deviation. Well, you got to find the standard deviations because right now you can't say one standard deviation because it's between one standard deviation and what? Two standard deviations. So you got to figure, okay, well, z-score is 1 and 2, so let's figure the z-score for this guy. And what's the formula for the z-score? I gave it to you yesterday or the day before.
X minus X bar.
X minus X bar over standard deviation. So you said 184 minus 171 is what?
30.
So the numerator is what?
13.
Over standard deviation is, I done lost it, 8. So that's equal to 1 point, well 8 will go in there one time and leave 5, and 5/8 is about a half, so it's around 1.5, give or take a hundredth or two. What does it come out to be?
1.625.
1.62. 1.625. So that's how many goes here, 1.625 and 1.625. These two are going to be the same number.
But it'll have to be 1.63 there, right?
Yeah, of course, whatever the rounding, yeah. Is Bill's height normal or unusual?
Usual.
So that will always be the case, like when it asks of the difference, they'll be like the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
these questions, yes. In other words, it's asking you what is the difference between the two scores, which is going to be your numerator right there. That number right there is your numerator. And then it's going to say the difference in standard deviations is 1.63 and the z-score is 1.63. What they're trying to get you to learn is that these two are the same number. Okay, now the only thing that you need to watch on these is if you have a negative z-score. Let's say you have a negative z-score of negative 1.2. All right, the negative 1.2 goes right here. But what goes right here? Be 1.2 without a sign because distance can never be what? Positive or negative. Distance is just distance. For instance, when you go down the highway and you go into Atlanta, it's about 200 miles from Anderson to Atlanta. When you leave Atlanta, does it say negative 200 miles?
No.
No. It's neither positive or negative. It's just units. 200 miles, that's it. So when you have a negative, like negative 1.2 would go right here because the z-score is negative 1.2. But the distance between here and here is what? 1.2 without a sign because distance can never be positive or negative.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's a test question. We'll see a couple of those on the test. Oh, it is a test question. I'm sorry, I'm used to Durr. All right, let me get out of this. Put 13 and 1.63,
Yeah,
and then technically this is positive 1.63, but you should put 1.63. And he's normal. And you can tell that by just looking at the picture. That's why the picture is so important. Next question. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit, extra points, and dropping any grades during the final weeks of the semester?
D.
I thought it was because my head hurts.
Thought it was B.
That's it. Where's all of homework, Hubert's homework and tests done?
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom. All right, y'all do that one. Same type we had a while ago, only bigger numbers. Blow it up, Vanna, please. Vanna must be hungover. She's just not with it today.
I feel awful.
That's why I was saying hungover, because you were sounding like you stopped up. I just figured you just got drunk last night.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Hurry up. I don't really care about the variance. The only two things I care about is what? The mean and the what? Standard deviation. But go ahead and find what they're asking for, because that's what they want. I'm going to go through and find everything for you so you'll have it in your notes. How are we going to do it on the spreadsheet? Say again?
Add in this thing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, could you put it in order?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put it in order. Oh, you want me to put it in order? I suck. There you go.
Thanks.
Somebody count them for me. How many we got?
14.
14?
No. Yeah, 14.
Okay. Are you sure, or are you just going to guess?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 15. It's 15.
So we went from 14, 13, 15. Okay. Just want to make sure I had that right.
And N is X bar.
Hmm?
N is X bar.
No. Mean is X bar. Mean. Median. Mode. Range. Mid-range. Variance. And standard deviation. Now, before you even get started, you've got to have what? What do you got to calculate first?
A mean.
The mean. So that's going to be summation of these numbers divided by what? N. So there's your mean. That's not correct. Sum of D28.
It's 217.93 through the fifth.
D28, summation of D28. Oh, I just divided it. Huh. I could actually do semicolon or colon. Semicolon. That's wrong. 342. Okay, just read it. Let me just read it. It's not one. Okay, go away. There. Try it again. Divided by, I must have did
15.
something wrong. There. Now, the median is 15, so that means 7 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is your median.
Oh,
Ma'am?
Do we rearrange all these or no?
Do what?
This one, do we put it in the order?
Yeah, you
or
have
the-
to.
Yeah, you have to put it in order before you start.
Okay.
Period. Yep. Mode, I really don't care about, but it shows up the what?
It's
The
none.
most. Is there anything that shows up the most?
None.
So you put NA, you put ain't in there, you put none, just don't put 0. Range, that's pretty simple. That's equal to the highest minus the what?
It's 380.
Lowest, Hubert. That's right, class. Mid-range is equal to parentheses, the highest plus the what? Divided by. Now the variance and the standard deviation, excuse me, you have to calculate. And the first thing we need is x minus what? X bar, Hubert. That's right, class. X minus X bar, and I hit F4 to lock that. And copy down. And then what am I going to do to X minus X bar?
Square it.
Square it, make them all positive. There's some BA numbers, but that's okay. And then what do we do to X minus X bar quantity squared?
Take square root
Add them what? You got to add them all what?
Together.
Together. And that'll give you your numerator. And there's your numerator, and your numerator goes on top of your variance. Let's see, that number divided by n times what? N
Minus.
times parentheses this number minus what? 1.
Enter.
And then what do we do with that number? Raise it to the what power? To the 0.5 power, which is taking the square root of it. Now we can draw our picture. Two, 1, 2. Just a little bit off, but you get the point. All right, so This guy is 732. 32 plus 27 is 759. Why am I not worried about the decimals? Because technically, what are we doing? We're plotting, right? Are you going to be exactly on the point every single time? No. And 760 plus 27 is 787. So that last one is 786. And then back the other way, 732 minus 27 is what? 5? 705? Y'all help me out. Y'all settle down.
705.
705 minus 25 is what? 680?
Yeah.
And now we can answer the question, whatever they're asking. I have no idea what they're asking. I guess we'll have to look at it. What was our range?
380.
Variance?
732.62.
Standard deviation?
Oh, says round to 1 decimal.
So that'd be 0.6. All right, what about the standard deviation?
27.1.
Okay, so is the lowest duration time unusual? Well, our lowest duration time is 71, right? So is it unusual?
Yes.
No, actually it's 0. Still unusual, yes. Because it's, let's see, do we have, no, we do not. So that'd be,
It's D.
yeah, yes, I'm sorry, is the lowest time unusual? Is it unusual? That means, is it normal? You could say, is it normal? Oh, anyway, yes, it is unusual. Wait a minute. Lowest duration time is 0, so that would be way out
Is-
here.
Is it unusual?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah, so it's D.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
You're thinking too hard.
Hmm?
So you're thinking too hard.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those questions that unusual. There.
No, D.
Okay. Whatever you say. I'll let you teach. I don't feel like teaching today. All right, next question. We already did one like that, did we not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the different questions. Let's see if there's any other different questions. That's another one. There's your question. Find the mean and the standard deviation.
Right.
This one will take a few minutes. So you might as well just go ahead and quit. I didn't go to sleep last night. They just want standard deviation. copy it over to the spreadsheet. I'm gonna change these to 20, 26, 27, 33, 34, 40, 41, 48, 55, 61, 54, 46. All right, we got frequency, that's F. We need to find the N. So how do we find the N? How do we find the N?
Add all frequencies together.
Add them up. So N is needed. Y is needed. What else do we need?
You need X, which is the midpoint.
Midpoint, good. So I'm gonna make a column here, call it X. And X is equal to parentheses, this guy plus this guy divided by 2. And you should be able to copy and paste it down. Oh my gosh. It just amazes me. So we got that, and that. Right. Now, we need to go back to your formula, and we're gonna need F times X. Oh, we're gonna need F times X what? Squared, so we're gonna need X squared next. (23) raised to the second power, and copy that down. And now we're ready. So I'm going to put over here F times X. And then I'm going to put F times X squared. Okay. F times X. And F times what?
X squared.
Now what do we do to these two guys? Add them up, Hubert. That's right, class. Go reading your what? What are you looking at while you're doing this problem? Formula, and the formula tells you summation of f times x squared, summation of f times x, quantity squared. Over n times n minus 1. So the standard deviation is equal to n times this number, f times x squared, oops, minus this number raised to the what? All divided by n times what? Equals this minus 1. And that's variance, not standard deviation. And that's going to be equal to this minus this over this times n minus 1. And then variance is equal to this divided by this. And then what do you do to the variance to get the standard deviation?
Take the square root.
Say again?
Take the square root.
Or raise it to the 0.5 power. Raised to the 0.5 power, and I get 7.05.
Huh? Okay.
7.05. Huh? Drunk girl can't hear today. All right, so what does the question ask? Let's go back to the handy dandy question. Standard deviation is what?
7.05.
7.05.
Wait.
Consider,
7.1.
well, 7.1. Consider a difference of 20% between two values of the standard deviation to be significant. How does this computed value compare to the given standard deviation? Oh. Which one is it?
A.
I don't know. Because I don't know where, I guess they're just pulling out that 20% just out of the blue. I don't know where they're pulling that out because they haven't given us anything. Hold on.
So you won't take off points for us if you don't know the answer to the question?
Well, some of these questions I don't take off points for. Because it says, consider a difference of 20% between two values of a standard deviation to be significant. How does this computed value compare with the given standard?